Just 1 minute left. How's everyone doing? Let me let you guys talk. How is everyone doing? I see Preeti, Jody, Christian. Hi. Preeti, how you doing? You might have to unmute yourself like on the bottom left if you've never used Zoom before. Or you can also type something in the chat. On the bottom, there's like a little thing that says chat. Can everyone hear me okay? Is it like too loud, too crazy? If you can just type in the chat that you can hear me, that would be awesome. Thank you. Okay, awesome. Hi, Preeti. Thanks for your question yesterday, and nice to see you. I'm just going to wait a couple minutes. I see some more people joining. The confirmation email just went out, so hopefully people remember and can click the link. Okay, awesome. Thanks, Jody. How's everyone doing today? Where are you guys signing in from? This is so cool, I think. It's my first webinar, and it's just cool to be able to use technology in this amazing way. All right, let me see how to do this. We'll just leave it. Oh, in Colorado. Cool. So it's a little bit early. That's really nice of you to come on. How's the weather? It's so gorgeous out. It's like amazing. Oh, that's so great, Preeti. Hello, Michelle. I see some people joining. I'm literally going to wait 3 minutes and then we'll get started. I would love for, I know people, I had like 88 people sign up. So giving everybody a little bit of a grace period. Weather is beautiful here. I know, right? I've never been to Colorado, but always wanted to go. It looks so picture perfect, literally, in every picture I've ever seen. So yeah, I bet it's beautiful. Yeah, we've had like a lot of rain, which I guess is good in the spring. We want it to rain, but you know, today's a super sunny, gorgeous day. Really, really stunning. So just waiting on a couple more people to join before we get started, but I'm gonna start it. Hi, Carmela. Oh my gosh, Lizelle. Hi, guys. Hi. Thank you for joining.
Oh, it's so lovely to hear from you, and I can't believe how much you're shining.
Oh, really, you're so kind. Oh my goodness.
Time. And it
Thank
goes back to my conversation with you, and I can't wait to get, to hear what you have to say, but it goes back to that conversation you and I had just before you left, and you said it feels like it's going to be my time to shine when I leave and move to New York. And
for those listening, Lizelle and I met in Hong Kong when I was living there for 4 years, and she's always been such an amazing cheerleader and supporter. So nice to see you despite the time change. Some of you I know, some of you I don't. Some of you have emailed me questions, and I see a few more people joining. So you know what? We're going to get started because I know it's like Friday morning and I want to really maximize this time with you guys. So I have a little chat. If you look on the bottom of Zoom, there's a little icon that says chat, and I would love for you to type questions as I'm talking. If you feel like your surrounding is too loud, you can mute yourself and then unmute if you want to chat. I can't see you guys. That's kind of intentional because I just didn't want like too much distraction for everybody, so we can really zoom in on the message, pun intended. We are on Zoom. And yeah, so let's do it. And like I said, questions are super welcome, and I would love this to be as interactive as possible. It's my first, and I'm very excited. Okay, guys, so welcome to the Momlight Metamorphosis webinar. I know we live in a digital age, but and I've been a little bit slow on the uptake with technology, but I just thought if I can share some thoughts and help some people using this amazing technology that we have access to. I have people here from all over the world, literally. It is just such a blessing. So I'm really excited to be able to do this. So before we get started, I want to invite everybody to close your eyes. Just bear with me. So just close your eyes for a moment. Take a deep breath. Might be the biggest, deepest breath you've taken all morning. Definitely is mine. And that's a good thing. And just ask yourself, what does health mean to you? And why is it important for you to feel healthy? So just take a moment to think about that. What does health mean to you? And why does it feel important for you to be healthy? And you can open your eyes now. I'm going to share the answer that came to me when I did that exercise. So growing up, many of you may have heard me talk about this in my story. Growing up, I was really, really chubby and heavy and didn't feel great in my body. And that led to me not feeling so great in my mind and my spirit. And for a long time, as a consequence of that, being healthy for me meant being a certain weight. So it became about weight management, weight loss, and I was so obsessed and preoccupied with this mission that it kind of took over my life. It took over my headspace. And I said, if I'm a certain size, if I'm a certain weight, then I'm healthy. Then I evolved. I grew as a person and I became a mother. And my notions of what it means to be healthy shifted. I'm not going to say that I'm completely unconcerned with my weight, because when you do grow up on the heavier side and you're teased about it and you don't feel great, it kind of is something you internalize for the rest of your life. And you're always working on not making that the most important thing, if that makes sense. But essentially what happened is my why shifted. So instead of focusing on weight and a certain size as a measure of my health, my notions of health shifted in a very simple way. And if I have to encapsulate what healthy means to me, healthy means feeling so vibrant, so alive in my body, my mind, and my spirit that I can access my inner light and shine it into the world in the most unapologetic way. And as a result of that, I can really show up for my kids, my husband, my friends, you guys, people that I teach, everybody else. So it was a profound shift for me. And the funny thing is, once my intention shifted in that way, the weight stabilized on its own. So it's almost like I found this happy, peaceful weight that was my ideal weight, where I feel like I thrive and I'm able to show up in this way. And so the weight loss came as this kind of beautiful side effect of this massive shift to a deeper intention. And so I invite you to really ask your why, because I think it can hugely impact everything. It can have a domino effect. And if weight is an issue, it will affect weight and stabilize that for you. If energy is an issue, it can affect that. So really, really going deep and asking what your why is really powerful. And so that's why I wanted to start with that exercise. And I leave you with that, because maybe you're thinking, what is my why? And sometimes you have to ask the why 7 times. Maybe your why is, I want to get into certain size jeans. Why is that important? Because that'll make me feel good about myself. Why is that important? So you just keep going deep, and really you end up with something that is quite deep, and that intention will carry you through challenging moments, and through this process of really finding and recapturing health. So why are we here today? We are here today because mom life is hard, okay? Mom life is challenging. For those of you who aren't moms, you know moms. It's challenging, it's beautiful, it's the greatest gift, but it's also, it can also feel really overwhelming. And so much so that in this busy mom life, we may not have the time or the bandwidth to really look after ourselves and feel our best in body, mind, and spirit, and show up as the best version of ourselves. It's really, really hard. It's really challenging. I've heard many of you talk about that challenge, which is why I created momlight.com, the podcast programs that I'm going to offer, and this webinar. So what I want to do today is I want to give you 3 simple steps. For me, simple is important because we don't have time for complicated in mom life. Sustainable is super important because I don't want to suggest something that you can do for 21 days that you cannot then carry on forever, because to me, that is just not useful. It's not valuable. I'm beyond the point where I want to do some crazy diet for 20 days or feel my best for 20 days and then what? So every recommendation that I make is sustainable. I do it every single day. I've been doing it for the last many years, and I know you can too, okay? So simple, sustainable, and science-backed. Why science-backed? Well, I'm a scientist, so that's just my nature. But also, I think there is so much noise out there when it comes to health trends, recommendations, what should I do? What should I eat? How should I exercise? What meditation practice should I embark on? There's so much noise. In that noise, there are some really valuable nuggets, and it's my job to take from that noise and filter through it to give you what I believe and what I know based on the research and the evidence is really going to give you a tremendous bang for your buck, because we don't have that many bucks when it comes to time. For moms, currency is time, it's attention. How can I put in literally the least amount of time and get the massive return on my investment? So these strategies that I'm going to share with you today, in my experience, give you massive ROI, or as they say, return on investment. And that's a win in crazy mom life. So let's jump in and ask questions, please. Number 1, leveraging the science of circadian biology, time-restricted eating, and intermittent fasting to help you feel your best in body, mind, and spirit. You've heard me talk about time-restricted eating before. If you've signed up for my 3-part video series, you've seen me share how I implement that in my life and how I suggest you do. And I just want to take a moment to talk about why we should even bother with time of eating. So for the longest time in health and wellness, we talked about you are what you eat. We know that. It makes sense. You are what you eat. What you put into your body really influences so many things. And now what the science is showing is that you are not just what you eat, but you are when you eat. And why is that important? Well, we are creatures of nature, whether we like it or not, or whether we've become so distracted that we've become completely disconnected from the fact that we are part and parcel of the natural environment. We are under the control of natural rhythms. We're under the control of a circadian clock. Circadian clock is simply a rhythm whereby processes in your body follow a rhythm of time that happens to be synced up with the light and the energy of the sun. Every being, every creature that's alive on planet Earth is under the control of the circadian rhythm, and we are no exception. But we have forgotten that. So what does that mean in a practical sense? It means that if you ask the average American today, and I'm saying American because that's where the studies have been done, if you ask an average American today, how many hours in the day do you consume food? The answer tends to be 15 hours on average. So think about that. We have 24 hours in the day, and 15 of those hours are being spent consuming food by the average American. You start eating at, say, 8 a.m., and now you're eating until 11 p.m. because many people snack before bed, they snack late into the night, they burn the midnight oil, they feel the need for something while they're working late, okay? So why is this a problem? It's a problem for so many reasons. And this study that I'm going to share with you really drives this point home. So if you're in a lab setting and if you're a researcher studying circadian biology, you take animals and you allow them to eat highly palatable foods that look very similar to the standard American diet, and you will find that they eat around the clock. What is the standard American diet in a lab setting? It tends to be very high fat, not good fats, just high bad fats, high refined carbohydrates, high sugar, not very nutritious, but very calorie dense and highly palatable. And these animals just go to town. They will eat around the clock for about 15 hours a day or more. Now, if you take those same lab animals and you allow them access to the same diet, but you restrict the window of time during which they can consume those foods, something absolutely incredible happens. They go from being obese, having metabolic syndrome, having propensities for cardiovascular disease, diabetes, all sorts of modern day illnesses when they're eating around the clock. Suddenly, all of those disease burdens shrink and go down just because now they are eating within a 12-hour window or a 10-hour window or even an 8-hour window. And this is really kind of wild. So I'm not advocating that you should be eating the standard American junkie diet. We're going to get into that in recommendation too. But what I'm saying is that when you eat is hugely powerful in terms of how you feel in body, mind, and spirit. Now, why does this work? Because our bodies can digest food, but they also need to repair itself. The body needs to repair itself. Repair cannot happen. Repair, rejuvenation, restoration cannot happen when you are burdening your system with stuff to do. So it's like trying to repair a highway while cars are running down the highway. Just doesn't work very well, right? You have to shut the highway down. When you stop eating for a certain amount of time in the day, like when you're sleeping at night, massive amounts of repair and rejuvenation are happening. And this is a good thing because we are exposed to all sorts of chemical and other onslaughts in our environment. We need this repair to happen optimally constantly. We really do, to reduce our disease burden. So my actionable tip and invitation to you, first of all, is restrict your eating window to a minimum of 12 hours, okay? So this should not even be considered a plan. This should not even be like, oh, I'm on this thing that Kanchan told me to do for a few days. No, this should be your life. At least 12 hours out of 24 hours every single day, you should give your body space and time to do what it knows how to do best, which is repair, rejuvenate, restore itself. So what would this look like in a practical sense? It could mean that you start breakfast at 8 a.m. and you finish dinner at 8 p.m. And then you say, I am shutting things down. I'm giving my body the space. And you see my conversation with myself. It's not about restriction. It's not about deprivation. It's about giving your body space to do its thing. The body is wildly intelligent. It just knows what to do if we give it the space. So I'm inviting you to do this. I'm also inviting you to play with trying to restrict that window even more. So you could try to give yourself 14 hours of rest, okay? So you could say, I'm going to have breakfast at 8 a.m. and I'm going to finish dinner at 6 p.m. And now when I eat my breakfast the next morning, I've given myself 14 hours of rest and repair space. And the second challenge I'm going to invite you to embark on is to stop eating dinner 3 hours before bedtime. So why is this important? It's important for so many reasons. Our bodies are primed to digest and metabolize food in synchronicity with the sun, okay? So your digestive fire, your metabolic flame, and your insulin response, which is how you metabolize carbohydrates and sugar, is optimal midday when the sun is up. It's actually optimal kind of a few hours after waking, and then it drops. So your insulin sensitivity is primed in the earlier part of the day, and then it kind of dwindles as the day goes on. And so the worst thing you can do is implement what I just said, like restrict your eating window, but now you're eating, say, for 8 hours a day and you're eating a giant dinner. That is totally out of sync with your circadian rhythm, completely out of sync. And I would argue probably at the root of a lot of modern day diseases, because that's how a lot of people eat today. They get too busy to eat breakfast. They skip lunch. They're meetings. And then they come home and they reward themselves with a giant dinner, a couple glasses of wine. It is completely not respecting your circadian rhythm. Have the giant lunch. Eat lunch like the old saying, right? The ancients knew what was up. Eat breakfast like a king, lunch like a prince, dinner like a pauper. So just coming back to actionable steps, because I really want you to walk away from this webinar with a few things that you can put into place in your life right now. Restrict your eating window to 12 hours at least, and stop eating dinner 3 hours before bedtime. There are studies that show that if you give yourself that 3-hour window before you sleep, you can dramatically reduce your risk of Alzheimer's disease. There's an Alzheimer's lifestyle protocol that happens through the University of California at San Francisco, where they work with people on lifestyle and food intervention. And this is an intervention. Stop eating 3 hours before bed. Massive amounts of repair, clearance of junk, protein, and plaques from the brain. All this is happening when you're giving yourself that space. So can you guys do that for me? For the next forever, just try it. Stop eating 3 hours before you sleep, minimally, and restrict your eating window to a minimum of 12 hours. If you can, 14 hours, but don't do 14 hours and late dinner. That's why I'm stressing the 3 hours before bedtime. Okay, amazing. You're going to see massive shifts. This is what I talk about, maximizing your ROI. All you're doing is changing when you're eating. I feel like I'm shouting because I'm so excited. Let me turn this down. All you're doing is altering the timing of your eating, and you're being conscious about giving yourself the space. You're going to see a massive shift. I'm telling you, it's a game changer. Now, an extension of time-restricted eating is intermittent fasting. We're not going to get into that today. I've actually created a program that I'm going to share with you at the end of the webinar where we can take a deeper dive and where I talk more about fasting and how you can implement that in mom life. But if you take away anything today, time-restricted eating, 12-hour window, 3 hours, stop eating before bed, I will be so happy. All right, let's move on. Second tip. So, of course, you are when you eat, but there is no doubt that you are what you eat. We can't escape that. So, for people who say a calorie is a calorie, if I eat, McDonald's every day, but I control my calorie intake and I'm going to be healthy, we know that doesn't work. A calorie of kale is not the same as a calorie of refined white sugar. It just isn't. Now, I want to shift the dialogue around you are what you eat. And I want to challenge you to think about it this way. Yes, you are what you eat, but I would argue that you are what you feed your microbiome. Okay? Who's really eating when you're eating anyway? This question is wild. It's like an existential question. Who are we anyway? Are we or are we a bunch of microbes that we harbor? And the science is showing that we are outnumbered 10-1 by the microbes that inhabit our bodies, okay? We have trillions of them in our gut. We may have them in our brain. Literally, a paper came out this week suggesting that we might have microbial populations in our brain. We have them on our skin. We have them in other parts of our bodies. And this is not like an ew, like germaphobe, like this is horrible. These microbes are warriors. They help us do everything. They help us metabolize food, absorb nutrients, convert certain vitamins into active components, keep the lining of our digestive tract intact, keep inflammation under control, boost our mood, even regulate weight loss. You can take an obese mouse and you can transfer its microbiome into a lean mouse and you will make the lean mouse obese, and vice versa. That is wild. Who's in control anyway? Who are we feeding anyway, right? So instead of thinking I am what I eat, you can say I am what I feed my microbiome. And what does that mean? I like to think about my microbiome as having two kinds of warrior armies. This is how I talk to my 7-year-old, and it seems to resonate. So I'm like, I'm just going to think about it this way. It's very intuitive. We have the good guys. I like to call them the Jedi warriors. And we have the not so good guys, or the stormtroopers. We're never going to get rid of the stormtroopers entirely, okay? And we may not need to. It's all about balance. If there's more Jedis than stormtroopers, we're good. If there are a lot more Jedis than stormtroopers, we're really good. The minute the stormtroopers start to take over, these not so beneficial bugs start to take over, we start to see issues. Lots and lots of issues. Like the science is wild, connecting the microbiome to pretty much every marker and outcome of health. So what does it mean to feed the Jedis and to starve the stormtroopers in a practical sense? Simply, we know that the good bacteria in our guts thrive on plants, okay? Now, I am not vegan, I'm not vegetarian, but I am very plant-based. My diet is very plant-forward because I'm literally thinking, do I want to foster the good guys or do I want to nourish the bad guys? I don't want to nourish the bad guys. What do the bad guys love? You know this. I don't even have to tell you. The bad guys love a Big Mac with the diet or not diet soda. They love refined sugar. They love food that's as far away from the earth as possible. So if you can do one thing for me in the next forever, I want you to look at your plate at every meal, and I want you to take half of it minimally, okay? Take half the plate minimally and just fill it to the brim with earth-grown nutrients that you know are going to feed your Jedi bug warriors. So that's step one. This means plants, okay? Plants, which means whole grains, legumes, lentils, and non-starchy and starchy vegetables. Don't be afraid of the starchy vegetables. We know that sweet potato, which is a starchy vegetable, has amazing polyphenols, phytonutrients, and fiber that feed the good bugs in your gut. Potatoes, when they're cooked and cooled, feed the good bugs in your gut. A wide array of vegetables, greens, leafy greens, all the spices that you know I love and talk about, all the herbs, they feed the good bacteria in your guts. So just change your mindset, and you're always thinking, how can I feed the good bugs in my gut so they can work for me? And so half your plate vegetables and something that comes from the plant kingdom as close to the earth as possible. And then my rule is half plate non-starchy vegetables, the rest of the fourth of the plate, starchy vegetables or a whole grain. And I'll give you a little hack. If controlling weight is a target, you can take that 1/4 of your plate and really fill it with non-starchy vegetables like sweet potato, butternut squash, starchy vegetables. And then if you're not so concerned about weight management, you can incorporate whole grains. But cutting back on whole grains will cut back on calorie density and will help you bring weight down if that's a goal. And we can get into that later. And I will be creating weight programs because I know that's such a huge, huge, huge challenge for so many moms. And there's a beautiful, joyful, delicious way to do that. And then the rest of the fourth of the plate, I recommend good quality protein, which can be legumes, it can be animal protein, it can be whatever protein source makes you feel alive and thrive. So just to recapitulate, half your plate, non-starchy vegetables, 1/4 plate starchy vegetable or whole grain, and 1/4 plate protein. And here's my second challenge to you. Not only are you going to fill your plate with vegetables to feed those Jedi warriors, but you are also going to add one new vegetable that you have never tried in your life every week. Can you do that for me? The average American, you guys, this is crazy. The average American consumes 12 vegetables. That's it in their lifetime, pretty much. Maybe once in a blue moon, they'll go to a restaurant and try some like vegetable they've never heard of. This is the other thing we know from the data. The diversity in your gut microbiome is directly proportional to the health of your gut microbiome. You want diversity. You don't want those like 2 or 3 not so great for you kinds of bugs. How do you create diversity in your microbiome? You create diversity by eating a wide variety of plant-based foods. So I want to challenge you the next time you go to the grocery store, pick up a vegetable. You literally are like, I don't know what this is. I don't even know what the name is. I don't know how to cook it. Google it. Yes, eat the rainbow. Exactly. Eat the rainbow, Jody says. So if you can try to eat the rainbow every single day, you are going to incorporate enough diversity of plants to really foster and nourish your microbiome. If you're going to eat only 3 colors from the rainbow every single day, you're doing yourself a disservice. So eat the rainbow, embrace a new vegetable every week, Google it, find out how to cook with it, and your microbiome and your health is going to be so, so happy. It's a game changer. It's super important. And I invite you to really shift how you look at your plate by thinking about who you're really feeding. Okay. Third and final tip for today is to maximize your movement ROI, return on investment. I'm all about ROI, guys. We don't have time. We don't have bandwidth. How can we maximize ROI when it comes to our health? Okay. What does this mean? Really quick. So if you're somebody that thinks that actually, let me tell my story. So for a long time, for me, movement was about how many calories am I burning in this workout? Because I was thinking being healthy means being a certain size. So I was like, if I'm working out for 60 minutes, I'm burning 500 calories. That's a worthwhile use of my time. If I'm not doing that, why bother, right? My ROI was about calories burnt. There's a problem with that. And I don't want to get into too much detail because I want to be conscious of time. The problem with that is that our bodies are incredibly smart and super intelligent. And if we make our body do the same thing every day, like if you decide every day I'm going to run 3 miles, okay, great, I'm running 3 miles, you're burning, say, 300 calories. A few weeks later, and a study came out this week that showed that for marathoners, a few weeks later, you will no longer be burning 300 calories. You might be burning 100 calories or 150 calories. Your body will become efficient at doing that workout. So if calories burned is your ROI, doing the same thing every day is not going to serve you. Number one. I'm going to challenge you to shift your notion of why you work out. Because the reality is that if you look at the data, if weight management is your goal, working out is important, but what you eat is probably more important, okay? So I want you to shift your ROI to think about the other benefits of exercise, which research is showing are far more monumental for your health than calories burned. So what are these? This is crazy stuff, okay? When you exercise, especially when you do some amount of high intensity interval training, and this can literally be 10 minutes workout, 10-minute workout, 7-minute workout, doesn't have to be 60 minutes, you promote the production of something called brain-derived neurotrophic factor, or BDNF, which literally promotes the synthesis of new neurons in your brain. You can be 80 years old and producing new neurons in your brain. This is amazing because we used to think our brains are wired, they kind of get, maximal potential, and then it's like downhill from there. No, you can keep your brain in tip-top shape by moving for 7 minutes a day. You can improve the integrity of your microbiome by moving for a few minutes a day. You can boost your mood by doing 50 jumping jacks. You can become stronger by doing 3 planks a day for a minute each. You see where I'm going with this? You don't have to think about movement as requiring a massive time commitment. You don't have to think about movement as simply calories burned. You have to think about the other ROIs. Am I reducing stress? Am I improving the integrity of my microbiome? Am I promoting neurogenesis in the brain? Am I improving my mood and my cognition and my risk? Am I reducing my risk for depression? Am I reducing my risk for cancer? And when you think about those returns on investment, you don't need to move for 60 minutes a day. If you can, great. If you are doing that, don't do the same thing every day. Mix it up. But if you can't move for 60 minutes every day, I invite you to try a 7-minute workout. So the days that you cannot move, you can literally download this app called the 7-minute workout. It's scientifically proven to be as effective if you do it at high enough intensity as a 30, 40-minute session in the gym. You can download the app. You can do it. Yes, exactly. Infomercials where just working out 15 minutes, 7 minutes. I'm literally telling you 7 minutes, guys. You have 7 minutes while you're waiting for the potatoes to roast in the oven, or you can include your kids in the workout. If nothing else, move for 7 minutes a day. It is science-backed. It will give you all those benefits that we talked about. Calories burned is not the only metric. And in fact, your body is so smart, it's not going to keep burning the calories you think you're burning if you're doing the same thing every day. Hopefully that's been helpful, guys. To recap, the 3 action items, the 3, 7-minute workout Gayatri. It's an app. It's free. It's 12 exercises that have been scientifically designed, 30 seconds each, 10 seconds off. You do this for 7 minutes. If you want, you can repeat it 3 times. If not, just do it for 7 minutes. Game changer, okay? So to recap, guys, what are we going to do? We are going to restrict our eating window to 12 hours. We're going to finish dinner 3 hours before bed to give our bodies the space and the time to repair, rejuvenate, and exercise its beautiful innate wisdom. Second, we are going to feed our microbiome so the Jedis can thrive. We're going to do this by filling half our plate with non-starchy vegetables, a fourth of our plate with starchy vegetables or whole grain, a fourth of our plate with good quality protein. We're going to eat nutrients that come from the earth because that's what the Jedis like to eat. That doesn't mean you never eat a stormtrooper-friendly meal, but we'll get into that later. And then the third thing you're going to do is you're going to maximize your movement ROI. You're going to do the 7-minute workout. If you're not going to be able to do anything else, you're going to do the 7-minute workout. If you can move, vary it up. Don't focus on calories. Focus on all those other beautiful returns on your investment for your health. I got a great question about fasting effectively put your body into ketosis. It does. So this is a great segue. So I wanted to be conscious of time. I know you guys, I said 30 minutes, we're already over 30 minutes, but I still see all of you are on. So hopefully that means this is helpful. I'll answer that question really quick, Lizelle, and I'm going to do a deeper dive and I'll explain that. So yes, effectively fasting will put your body into ketosis. What is ketosis? Ketosis is when your body uses fat for fuel instead of carbohydrate for fuel. You occasionally do want to use fat for fuel, even if you're not necessarily concerned with losing weight or fat. Because when you use fat for fuel, your body produces something called ketone bodies. And these are really beneficial for brain health and heart health. And if you think about our ancestors, they weren't eating sugar and carbs every day. Sometimes they weren't eating, they were forced to fast. And so our bodies have evolved to thrive on these occasional bursts of ketosis and ketone body production. So hopefully that helps. All right, guys. So I want to thank you for being here. I hope you can take away some really valuable action items that you can put into your life right now that are going to maximize your ROI. And now I want to tell you a little story straight from my heart. So you guys know I did my PhD in molecular biology, and for a long time I was on the linear path of biotechnology and drug development and things that made sense. To the world and to my parents and even to me, like, oh yeah, you know, that's what I should be doing with my PhD. It makes sense. It's a good way to use my Harvard PhD. And then what happened is circumstances happened and I was kind of forced to ask myself the question, if no one cares what my resume looks like, and if no one cares what I did with my life, what do I really want to do? If I'm not doing things to please others? And the answer was, I want to help people feel healthier in their bodies, which then helps them feel healthier in their minds and their spirit so they can access their inner light and just show up like we're meant to show up. It really is how I feel about my own health journey. And I have transformed myself. It's taken me a long time, a lot of trial and error, but I know that I can help people do this, right? So I decided to do that. I started Spice Spice Baby. I created recipes. I try to encourage the world to embrace spices. You guys know all that. You're my tribe. You've been following me for a while. And then I became a certified health coach through the Institute of Integrative Nutrition. I wanted to work one-on-one with clients, and I did that. But I found it, on the one hand, extremely rewarding, and on the other hand, extremely limiting, because how many hours do I have in the day? How many clients can I see? I can only help so many people. It's expensive because it's my time, an hour of my time, so not that many people can access it. So I have decided to take a plunge and to create my first ever digital coaching product. It's actually live right now as we speak. Today's the launch day. It is called the 21-Day Momlight Metamorphosis. And it is a deeper dive into everything that we talked about, where I'm going to guide you through 6 science-backed steps to reclaim your health and vitality in mom life. And I am making it accessible because this was something I struggled with. I wanted to help more people. Not everybody can work with me. Not everybody wants to do a private one-on-one coaching. They don't have that kind of financial bandwidth. So I have priced this product at $27, which is nothing. But the reason I've made it so accessible is because I wanted to open it up to my closest community, which is you guys. And I'm charging that amount as a commitment fee, because I know that if people pay $27, they're going to take those 6 steps with me. I want you to take those 6 steps with me for 21 days. I'm going to guide you through the process. So if you go to momlight.com/shop, you can learn more about the program and you can see if it resonates with you. I know that it's not going to be $27 forever. This is what I do now, but I really wanted to make this accessible for my close tribe, my inner circle. You guys are that. You showed up today on a Friday morning for this webinar, and hopefully it's been super valuable. I know the program is going to be even more valuable. So the way it's going to work, it's going to be, I'm going to read the modules to you. So once you sign up for the program, you are going to receive 6 videos and a bonus module. This is all going to be digitalized, so it's going to be videos that you get. You're going to go through these 6 videos. The program is going to start arriving on the 21st of June, which is the summer solstice, which is a very auspicious day. And you're going to get 6 videos in 6 days. You're going to watch those videos. They're going to be short. They're going to be to the point, and they're going to give you some key action items. And you are going to then join me on the 1st of July for 21 days. We're going to all do it together. We're going to implement those 6 changes for 21 days. We're going to be part of a private Facebook group. I'm going to have 2 coaching calls, group coaching calls, just like this, where I'm going to answer a lot of questions and really get you revved up to follow these steps for 21 days. We're going to do that from the 1st of July to the 21st of July, where we... that's my 40th birthday. I'm like, all these dates are like lining up to be so auspicious for my first ever digital coaching product. The program is priced at $99, but I've discounted it to $27 because I really just want my tribe to be in it with me. I think it's going to be amazing. I'm really excited to see the shift. I will say this, if you take those 6 steps with me, if you do that program for 21 days, it's designed to be continued after 21 days. I'm actually going to do a call at the end to show you how you can transition to a normal life, though it's going to feel like something you want to continue forever. You're going to experience a massive shift. I don't like to pay for stuff that doesn't work, so I'm offering a money-back guarantee on all my programs and courses. If you don't feel you felt a shift, you will get your money back. So sign up. It's not going to be $27 for long. Once you sign up, you'll get a welcome email, and on June 21st, you'll start to receive the modules. We'll start the program on July 1st. We'll end on my birthday. There'll be a couple of live coaching calls with me, and the modules are as follows. Module 1. So the program is the 21-day Momlight Metamorphosis, the science-backed 6-step plan to more health and vibrancy despite the challenges of mom life. Module 1, you are when you eat, leveraging the cutting-edge science of time-restricted eating, circadian biology, and intermittent fasting. We are going to do a deep dive into fasting and trying to make that work for you in mom life. Module 2, you are what you eat, or more importantly, what you feed your microbiome. Deeper dive into what we talked about today. Learn how to construct your meals to foster the benevolent warriors in your microbiome while starving the villains with a ripple effect on your health. Module 3, maximize your movement ROI. Don't have time for a 60-minute workout? No problemo. Learn about the science of exercise and movement so you can thrive on just 7 minutes a day if that's all you have. Module 4, conquer sleep. Boring, I know, sleep. No one wants to sleep. Honestly, sleep or die. That's what the science is saying. Learn about the evidence backing the tremendous importance of sleep and how to get it in sleep-deprived mom life. Calm cortisol, module 5. So important and probably at the root of so much ill health for us moms. Learn about the ancient wisdom corroborated by modern science on breathing and other practices to rewire your central nervous system and calm the cortisol and stress response. Module 6 is probably my favorite. Pay attention to primary foods. The food on your plate is not just what nourishes you. It's only one form of nourishment. You will learn to draw awareness to other aspects of your life, work, creativity, relationships, spirituality, what we call in integrative nutrition as primary foods, to find and address imbalances to overcome your health challenges. And the bonus module, because I am the spice mama, must have spices, and I'm adding for the first time ever herbs. 10 must-have spices and herbs that you can incorporate easily into your daily cooking to really take your health to the next level. So guys, that's it. Momlight.com/shop. Join me. It's going to be amazing. It's $27. You get your money back if you don't like it. I really, really would just be so honored to do this with you. It launches June 21st and July 21st. Any questions? Ask them now. I'm so wired. I'm so excited. It's like, yeah, it's just so amazing to be able to see people shift using these simple measures and to take you along on this journey that I know has worked for me. So I'm super excited. If nothing else, I hope that you will put into practice what you learned today on the webinar. If you have any questions, yes. Okay. So 7-minute workout. I answered those questions. Is this going to be saved? Yes. So I had 88 people register. I know life gets in the way and things probably happened and they couldn't join. So there's a recording. Yeah, post a link on the chat. I'm going to share it again. So it's momlight.com/shop. Yay. Yes, yes. My inner tribe needs to be on my first ever Momlight transformation. I'm going to open this up in the future. And I'm just saying it's not going to be $27 because that's not how I can do this forever. But it is for you guys, my inner tribe. So do it now. Join me. I'm so excited. And yeah, I'm going to record this. It's recorded and I'm going to email it to you so you can watch it later. You can have your husbands watch it, your friends, whatever. Yeah. So hopefully this has been helpful, guys. If there's no other questions, I will let you go. I will follow up with email. I will send you the recording. Thank you so much for being here. I could feel all of you guys, like your energy, your support. Yeah, thank you for inspiring me to do this and create this for you. I'm really excited for the shift that you're going to feel. Thank you, guys. Big kiss. Talk soon. Okay.